likely to commence anytime soon as UTAG's Galamsey strike takes off today.
Also to come, over 8-hour gridlock on Accra-Kumasi Highway forces passengers to abandon vehicles and attempt to walk to their destinations. We have details for you on what is causing the unusual holdup.
A lot later, Ghana's senior national team, the Black Stars of Ghana, clash with James Kwesi Appiah's Sudan in a crunch qualifier later today. Hello there, welcome to yet another edition of News Central. I am Mawina Igbeta.
And I am Kemeni. I'm another news star right now. In our first story, the president of the Association of Judges and Magistrates, Justice Henry Kofi, has condemned the actions of anti-LGBTQ protesters who hit the streets calling for an expedited hearing on the cases. Justice Kofi noted that insulting expressions and abuses leveled against the judiciary and the Chief Justice were unwholesome, adding that explanations had been given to the delay in the hearings.
Subverts the judicial process and undermines the administration of justice. And we call on all persons, be they litigants, parties, and lawyers who have cases in court to exercise due restraint, show decorum, and not to do anything that undermines the administration of justice and have the tendency to disrupt the peace of the country and to cause mayhem to the judicial system. When people who are supposed to know better seek to stampede the judiciary, to attack the judiciary and to cause mayhem, that is a threat to the judicial institution and all that it stands for. How could anybody who knows and who should know better and who knows that his case is not even ripe for hearing get up, shout from the rooftop, and ask for judgment to be given in that case? How can a court give judgment in a case to which the parties have not finished filing the requisite processes? Such conduct subverts the judicial process and ought to be condemned by all Ghanaians to protect judges and staff of the judicial service, who are all public servants and public officers doing their requisite duty. Such behavior by litigants in cases pending before the court subverts the judicial process and undermines the administration of justice. And we call on all persons, be they litigants, parties, and lawyers who have cases in court to exercise due restraint, show decorum, and not to do anything that undermines the administration of justice and have the tendency to disrupt the peace of the country and to cause mayhem to the judicial institution as a whole. We are only...
Now, away from that, Parliament's Assurances Committee has this afternoon resumed sitting with the Defence, Sports and Energy as well as Transport Ministries expected to appear before the committee chaired by Norton MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. On a crossover now where the hearing is taking place. We'll speak to Noble Crosby Annan shortly. But first, let's take a listen. We'll bring you more sound and sight from the hearing. But first, let's talk to Noble Crosby Annan. Crosby, good afternoon to you. Talk to us about what is happening so far.
Right, Kemini. So just like you rightly mentioned today, we're expecting these ministries to be present and appear before the Assurances Committee that is chaired by the North Tom Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. We're expecting to see the Ministry of Energy as well as the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Coincidentally, the Black Stars have a game today, so that may come up. But as I speak with you, Kimini, the Ministry of Transport, led by the Minister of Transport, he is with the committee as we speak, answering questions or responding to inquiries. Amongst the things that have come up since morning the committee began sitting is the whole airport. There have been questions about the operationalization of the whole airport. The minister explained that when the airport was opened, the intention was to make it a commercial airport. However, for local flights that use the airports, they were not able to break even because of low patronage. Hence, there are steps to convert the airport into a training school or a training facility. And indeed, that has effort has been ongoing for quite a while now. That was even made known by former sanitation minister, as well as some other government officials, that the whole airport will now be made into a training facility. He says that the military, they are pleased about the idea. The chair of the committee has been asking him to ensure that it happens very quickly. There's also been concerns about the national airline. You know that we do not have a national airline yet. The minister says that efforts are underway to ensure that the process is expedited. He's also asking the minister to make sure that the process is expedited so that we can have a national airline that can be used, for instance, for games like the games the Black Stars is about to play, and for presidential travels even, so that we don't have to look for other airlines to carry the president and other government officials when they have to embark on other journeys. Another key issue that has come up today is about airport security. You know, Kimini, somewhere in April, the Ghana Airport Company Limited released a statement indicating the interdiction of some staff members as a result of the busting of some 8.5 kilograms of cocaine that was smuggled out of Ghana into Belgium. It says investigations have been complete. The interdicted staff were not found culpable, so they've been left off the hook. However, the chair of the committee was concerned as to why there has not been any update that the investigations have been complete and it has cleared these people, because this news brought some unfortunate tarnishing of the country's image in international news agencies, and it aids in, or it plays a role in how Ghanaians are tagged when they intend to travel out of the country. So he's asking that information like this be made readily available. Beyond that, the minister has also been saying that airport security is very tight. They put in place a lot of measures to ensure that airport security is held at a very crucial level. They're not compromising at all. And explaining some of these things, it says that sometimes to ensure good collaboration with other partnering countries or partnering agencies, they allow these instances to leave the airport because they are aware of it, and alert other international agencies, other collaborating partners to effect the arrest there, just so that they could strengthen their engagements with the other partners. It does not mean that they are not able to effect such arrests here. He's adding that a lot of the times there are arrests or busts that go on at the Ghana airport, but we are not made to know, because there are some things that must be kept beyond the public, and the public should not know about it. So these are a few of the things that have come up. At the moment, he's responding to questions about metro mass transport, their viability, and whether it is making money, and efforts to ensure that essentially the nation's transport system reaches a certain level that will put Ghana on some good pedestal, community.
I see. You know, we look forward to the other ministers who would also take their turn at the hearing. But then the transport minister addressed issues around wastage or of resources on the whole airport, which has been a bone of contention over and over, particularly at park sittings. Did that come up at this hearing?
So the whole airport conversation, his response was that because airlines say that they are not able to break even or make money because of low patronage, as saying lots of people are not traveling or using the whole airport. So that the country does not lose the money that it invested in the airport construction, they are now going to transform the whole airport into a training school, putting it to some use to ensure that the facility does not die off and the nation tries to, recoup the money it has made. Essentially, they're saying that the investment there, the facilities there, the ground there is suitable for the training school. That is, if a proper airport, if you like, cannot run there because of claims or concerns of low patronage.
Crosby, thank you so much for reporting. Noble Crosby Anand joined us from today's hearing of the Assurances Committee of Parliament, where the Transport Minister has been speaking to the committee. We expect to see the Energy and Sports Ministers as well.
This afternoon, we'll continue on our sustained coverage on Galamsey and its ravaging effects. And academic activities in Ghana's public universities are not likely to commence anytime soon as UTAG's Galamsey strike takes off today. Already, universities have postponed reopening dates due to some unions demanding better conditions of service. Let's let's look at some of these institutions and the concerns as they've raised so far. A number of them which have forced the postponement of reopening dates by a number of the universities. And so let's walk you through that list. The University of Ghana, the University of Media, Arts and Communication, UNIMAC, University of Development Studies as well. That's also one of the universities. And the unions that are on strike are the Ghana Association of University Administrators, Senior Staff Association, Universities of Ghana, Teachers and Educational Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress, TUC. And what the concerns have been, as we know it, is there's been delayed pension contributions, non-payment of vehicle maintenance allowances, and then the suspension of certain agreed upon benefits. This afternoon, let's find out a bit more whether or not UTAG's decision to proceed with the industrial action will have other unions join them following organized labor's U-turn in declaring a nationwide strike over the effects of Galamsey. Daniel Opoku is our labor affairs correspondent. He's joining us right now. Daniel, first, do we get the sense that other unions may follow the path of UTAG?
Right. So good afternoon to you, Marina. And based on what UTAG did yesterday and the way the president of UTAG, the rest of Ghana branch, spoke, the indications I have picked that the other sector unions would want to join UTAG to embark on this nationwide strike. In the education space, there's a union just putting themselves together, and also within the mining space, they are those also putting themselves together. But in order, they may have to seek approval from their council. So currently, my understanding is that some of them are still engaging their councils for them to seek the blessing or the approval of the council before they be able to embark on to join UTAG strike. In case the council fails to approve, then obviously they cannot join UTAG. But if they should get the expert approval from their council, then they're likely to join the strike by UTAG.
And so we can confirm that some of the unions are seeking to want to join UTAG. Do we know them? Can we name them if possible?
Right. My understanding, once they are still seeking the approval of their councils, they will not be in a position to. My sources actually will not be in a position to disclose the names of those unions to me, but they are within the education space. But it's something that they will be selling the idea to their council. For instance, when I talk about within the education, so those who are the pre-tertiary sector, one of them is likely to join the UTAG strike, and also within the mining space, you also have one of the top unions trying to join UTAG. But in all that, means that you may have to seek approval from your council. If your council approves it, then you embark on the strike. But in case your council decides not to approve, then obviously you may not be able to join the strike. Because clearly yesterday what happened within the labor front, where we realized that there were cracks. They were disorganized. They were not able to put themselves together. It was one of the reasons the leadership conceded and suspended the intended action. Because even if they had proceeded along the line, others would have pulled out of the nationwide strike. That would have clearly affected the leadership and also how they run their business. So they thought it's wise to suspend the action, come together and see what they can fight ahead of them.
But Daniel, at the moment, it does appear that the cracks are already visible. UTAG on strike, other unions considering joining them. What's been the response of the leadership of organized labor to, one, the criticism that's come their way, the disappointment that's been expressed by quite a number of individuals and civil society groupings to their decision to pull out from this industrial action? Have they in any way said anything?
Right. But I want to look at within the industrial labor relations space. Breakaways are very normal, even though usually, leaders will not encourage it. But breakaways are very normal. But if you break away from organized labor, organized labor is not a registered institution sitting somewhere, like for instance, the health service workers, with its structures. Also, you have the PSW with its structures, individual unions with their structures. Organized labor is not like that. So in this case, if UTAG decides to break away from organized labor, it means that UTAG henceforth to be conducting its own thing. UTAG may have to go forward to negotiate with government on its conditions of service, go to government to negotiate for salary increments and other things. But that's also be difficult because when you look at what captures the portion, the single spine salary structure, it proposes a public sector joint negotiation committee for all sector unions to sit as organized labor before negotiations are done. So when you go solo, it will become very difficult for government to engage you in subsequent negotiations on the conditions of service. But once it is what the policy says, along the maybe they could vary it. But as we speak currently, UTAG is on strike. Other sector unions are putting themselves together. They are likely to join UTAG strike.
Right then, Daniel, thank you for those details. That's my colleague Daniel Opoku. He's our Labour Affairs correspondent, providing us a bit more in terms of the reaction. And what he tells us this afternoon is that other Labour groupings are considering joining UTAG in the course of action they are on as we speak, which is forcing further possible reopening dates for public universities across the country. In the meantime, residents living across along the course of the Densu River and the Ghana West municipality say they are reeling under the effect of illegal mining upstream. Stanley Niblo reports that the residents have stopped relying on the water body for their household chores due to its current state.
The water source for most people is safe, but the picture is different now. Residents living along the course of the Densu River blame the recent constant pollution of the river on illegal mining activities upstream.
I was born in this community, and this wasn't how the Densu looks like. When people were complaining about illegal mining, we thought it would not reach here, but here we are. Our water is polluted. The Galam said that
Last week, an amateur viral video filmed by some residents at Ayikaindo Blow in the Ghana West municipality presented a more troubling situation of the Densu River, even though illegal mining activities are carried out hundreds of miles away from the capital.
The
Galam said that we were told by politicians that it is not mined in Accra. Now the reality has caught up with us, and this is what they've done to our water body.
I have come to the community to obtain first-hand information about the Densu River, also referred to as the Okuja by the indigenes. It had rained heavily the previous night, so the murky state of the river had improved, but the pollution levels are highly visible. Farmers who depend on water from the river to irrigate their crops have not been able to do so over the last fortnight.
Man, if you're quiet,
no if mo complain because
all the farmers along the Densu River no longer irrigate their farms because if you irrigate your crops with the water from the river, the crop withers. This is not a characteristic of the Densu River. The current state is as a result of the Galamsey.
Fishing activities here have also halted. This is its current state at Ablekumajoma Enclave, where the Densu enters the Weja Dam. The pollution has been rapid. Fishermen say the situation is disturbing.
When they do illegal mining and it rains upstream, it washes everything down here, which affects our catch. When the water was clean, we had substantial catch, but the situation has changed.
Clearly, the health and livelihoods of residents is at risk, and the national call to end Galamsey is urgent. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Ayikaindo Blue, Accra.
And Stanley Nibleu detailing again what the horrors of illegal mining is, particularly for many who've made the argument that the mining is happening far away from the capital. We can bring you right now Ghana Remembers.
In the last 2 months, labor unions joined a renewed spirited fight against illegal mining. Like many Ghanaians, the unions had their own ideas on what they believed could bring some sanity into the mining space. They laid bare these, key demands, which included a declaration of a state of emergency along rivers and forest reserves, with a threat of proceeding on strike if government fails to accept their recommendations. By end of the deadline, the unions informed the nation the measures outlined by government does not incorporate the entire demands. A date, therefore, was set for the strike, and it was announced October 10th. With barely 2 days to that date, the unions once again indicated a desire to proceed on strike.
The president has not said anything. We had a discussion. We said by the 10th of October, if nothing has been done, there will be a nationwide strike. The president discussed the issues with us, our demands with us, and what he's able to do is what he's told us, and it's written vividly on this paper. That is all.
All Ghanaians are solidly behind the campaign against Galamsey. And so he will enjoy the support of the entire country once he supports the fight against Galamsey by taking those necessary actions. And we are counting on him to do so. And we believe that he can and he must, do that to save lives and to save the future generation.
We've sent a series of notice to your outfit to the extent that we've had a committee with you headed by Honorable Kendapa, and it will wonder you to know that ever since we met them, we've not had any concrete decision.
As we all know, Labour has since announced it is no longer proceeding on that strike. This is despite the clear fact that key demands which government had not committed to implementing 48 hours to the day for the commencement of the industrial action are still outstanding. Labour had asked for a declaration of a state of emergency in order to halt all forms of mining and the immediate evacuation of all mining equipment from forest reserves. Government has not agreed to these specific demands, but the unions say they are satisfied.
Government has asked organized labor to nominate representatives to be part of the stakeholders committee to fight illegal mining in the country. Organized labor has therefore decided to suspend the internal strike action. We are calling all workers to report for work on 10th of October 2024 and beyond.
That turn of events has left many Ghanaians wondering how Labour became satisfied outside the clear demands they had insisted ought to be addressed to avert the industrial action. Professor Ransford Jumpo of UTAG has his own suspicions.
Even the kinds of things that happen here. Okay, you do not call a meeting and then go with a prepared speech. What was the basis? Means you sat in the comfort of your bedroom with the politician who manipulated you to come and read this to us. I mean, they have people they can manipulate, but not some of us.
Make of it what you may, but that's it for Ghana Remembers.
And you're still live here on NewsCentral. We're going for our very first break here on NewsCentral. When we return, a bit more for you with By the Numbers and a lot more Galamsey related stories. Please do stay.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
We all have that one friend, always by your side for the big moments and ready to assist. He's always got his eyes on the prize and his heart in the right place. Where would we be without our BFF? This season, enjoy all 380 Premier League games with your BFF GoTV. Upgrade or reconnect to GoTV Super Plus for the discounted price of just 265 cedis today. GoTV, love it.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you can get an 8K. Get back packing from your Wallah. Hey, wait.
You can put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck.
Hey, the bill radio. We are star 712. It's put your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let me choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4.
Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets.
I'm choosing random ticket. That's it.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey, there, tread cautiously.
Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me enu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba
and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you. Of Acrobato. Hello. Hey, what che? Okay. A free bra with the end point what dance. I'm a choir no.
me Joseph Sama na enkoye and pastor na my nyina and imagine sabema. Na me be for there. The hard nyina jaresa.
You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch homeopathy clinic. I'm free.
Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Thank you very much for having me here today. The nation builder John Mahama and Professor Nana Jane are bringing you the Women's Development Bank. It is a very special bank run by only women, to serve only women. The aim is to empower millions of women across the country. The bank will have branches all over the nation to provide you with loans with very low interest and on very flexible terms.
Madam, I run a small makeup and nail bar. Do I qualify for a loan?
No need to bother, my sister. I mean hairdressers, market women, women-owned online businesses, female graduates, women in the corporate world, traders, agri, women in all fields qualify for loans. With John Mahama and Professor Nana Jane at the helm, the Ghanaian woman will surely rise.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Chale, you dey hear the filler where they go round. Won't you? Hey, I hear say the Electoral Commission dey register some voters for secret places. Them add thousands of names to the voters register.
Me say if I hear saying they do one for the EC headquarters. I will fair.
Hey!
Them fee are thousands of voters for the ruling party in Stronghold and delete names of voters for the opposition in Stronghold. I be bad for only.
If these rumors are true, then the upcoming elections cannot be free and fair. Oh, the Electoral Commission needs to address these allegations immediately in Tamara.
My people, let me set the record straight. All these rumors, they are nothing but pure lies. And Tronkwa.
Really?
First of all, 21 days before the registration exercise, the EC publishes all registration centers in the Gazette. And every single political party knows the location of all these centers all over the country.
Okay.
Secondly, all political parties have their agents at every registration center nationwide. Accredited observer groups, Metrese, even international observers, they are also present at these centers.
Yes.
Thirdly, all political parties receive both start of day and end of day reports at each registration center. They use these reports to collect the figures of registered voters. Simple.
Oh, okay.
Finally, at the end of each day, registration, the total number of voters published by the Electoral Commission always matches with the figures collated by the political parties from all the registration centers throughout the country. There is no doubt about it. I mean, no doubt about it.
Sir.
Okay. So my people, don't fall for all the lie that is flying around. The registration process is totally transparent. Period.
Now we know the truth.
We
won't fall for these lies anymore.
The EC ensures a transparent process at every step. Share this information and help stop the spread of misinformation. Make sure say Remember, the EC no go fit add one figure self to the registered voters. The 2024 election registration process, it be Frenchim, it be clean. No kululu.
This is the show that brings finality to all the critical issues. It is the stage where all the facts are checked, issues thoroughly interrogated, opinions shaped, and debates settled. But over here, we do more than just talk. We resolve problems. We hold those in power accountable. We address all the key happenings in society, from politics to health to education to everything you deem important. And we will center the voice of the ordinary Ghanaian. This is the show that sets the agenda.
Agenda shows Mondays at 9 p.m. on TV3. TV3, first in news.
Welcome back. It's time now for By the Numbers. Anytime you see us around the screen together, that's what we're going to do. Now let's get into it. Today, we are continuing our focus on battleground constituencies. And we'll be talking about the Evaluate, Ajomoro, Jura, and Jomoro constituencies with a promise to hold considerable national attention come December 7th. Both constituencies also falling within mining areas amidst the ongoing Galamsey fight has the potential to sway the election results either ways. And that's why Mawena is here, to show us what it could be by the numbers.
Absolutely. And like you've mentioned, Evaluate, Ajomoro, Jura, and then the Jomoro constituency, all in the western region, considerable interest because they are mining constituencies. You know, on Monday, we walked through the election data about whether or not the fight against illegal mining had taken a toll in the government efforts to clamp down on illegal mining. So let's start with Evaluate, Ajomoro, Jura, and what the presidential election has looked like since 1996. 7 elections in all, 2020 inclusive, and this is what it looks like. The NPP has won 4 out of those 7 elections, with the NDC winning 3. And so clearly, it looks like both parties have been able to work their way up in terms of being able to swing that constituency to their favor, as and when the campaign is good and as and when the message reaches the constituents in Evaluate for them to be able to vote. And so going into 2020 for the presidential, it will be an area of keen concern and one that you should look out for. In terms of the parliamentary as well, interesting dynamics there. There's a presence of a third force in the Evaluate constituency from 96. And so we've seen the NPP win it twice, the NDC has won it 3 times, and then the CPP as well, winning it 2 times. And that's when the early part of the 4th Republican Republic and the Constitution, which we've been enjoying, and the democracy we've been enjoying for 32 plus years, when there was that presence of the CPP, the PNC and the likes were able to nick seats. They managed to do it twice. And so if you look at the balance of things, just narrowing it down to just the NPP and then the NDC, 3 against 2, then it tells you that if it goes down to the wire, any of these political parties could win that particular seat on the parliamentary front as well. And there's the added factor of the illegal mining menace and the fact that there's a lot of mining happening in these areas where there's ongoing activities to clamp down on illegal mining and its rippling effects. That has become a part of our political discourse now, what the effect of Galamsey and the fight could do to a potential seat for either of the parties. And so that's what Evaluate Ajomoro Jura looks like from both the presidential and the parliamentary
since 1996.
Absolutely.
And I also noticed that there is emphasis on the NDC winning in the last election, and which is why projections will be important for the 2024 election. So from Evaluate, let's talk about Jomoro.
Absolutely. Let's do Jomoro now. And this is what the presidential looks like. Also quite close, the NPP winning it 3 times, and then the NDC winning it 4 times as well. Another mining area, in fact, it was one of the areas where recently there was concerns about where the birthplace of Nkrumah and the likes had been subjected to the activities of illegal mining, amongst many other things. And so it presupposes that the recent phenomenon of Galamsey introduced to our politics will be at play fully here for both parties, the NPP and the NDC as well. In terms of the parliamentary as well, there's an interesting dynamic that I want to show you as well in relation to that particular constituency as well. We see the presence of the CPP, and I'll talk to you about it and why it makes the Jomoro constituency for the 2024 elections even more interesting. So we see that the NPP has won at once. The NDC appears to have stamped its authority in the Jomoro constituency with the CPP winning in 2008. And that was the daughter of Ghana's first president, Samia Nkrumah, won in 2008. What makes it even more interesting this time round is the fact that she is making a return to contest this particular seat again. And then a former member of parliament for the NPP as well is making a return seeking to capture that seat again. And then the incumbent, Afo Toffee as well, making a case for her to be given the nod again. And so if you look at these dynamics which are coming to play and these personalities and individuals who will be present on the ballot paper come December 7, then the Jomoro constituency, particularly on the parliamentary front, makes for a very interesting watch as to how the votes will sway. Will it go back to the daughter of Ghana's first president is a big question that's been asked. Will the NDC's dominance come to bear, or will the fight between the two give the NPP a chance to be able to nick the seat again? Is a question that remains to be answered.
Absolutely. Very interesting, outlook there for the Jomoro constituency. And, we wish them the very best. Because it's very tough, battle ahead of the, the contenders there.
Particularly on the
parliamentary front, particularly, between the NDC, Samo Toffee, and, Samyan Nkrumah. Interesting. Thank you for bringing us the, the numbers. It's time now for us to bring you Election Command Center. Less than 60 days to the elections. We are your Election Command Center. I want to bring you more election-related stories. We know the Electoral Commission has commenced its meeting and training for party agents for the printing of notice of poll and ballot papers for the December 7th elections. Our Joseph Armstrong Goldalogbe is the Electoral Commission and reports almost all political party agents, including the main opposition NDC, have reported for the training. Military men and other security personnel have also been positioned at the commission to ensure no media personnel is allowed entry into the yard and to really keep order. More on this, Joseph Armstrong is joining us via Zoom. Joseph, good afternoon to you. We understand you do not have access to the place, but what can you report? What have you been sniffing?
The meeting just ended, and you could see, in shorts, some of the agents coming out from the meeting earlier. We came here around 11, thereabouts. The meeting was supposed to have started around 11 exactly, but it delayed a little bit. They started around 11:30, but we were not allowed entry. And then later on, I also gathered that the security personnel we saw in here are all parts of the training process that was taking place, because they are going to police the printing of the ballot papers. And they just finished the meeting, and not all of them are too happy. This man represents the butterfly. So wait for change. He wants to share some concern. Kameni, kindly speak up for me. So what are you concerned earlier? You were not too happy about what happened. Look into the camera and speak loud for me.
Okay, right. The place was struck up. They gave the letter just yesterday, and then they asked each and everybody to be here around 11. They gave the time, and then we were here. The place was struck up. You saw the number of people who were packed outside. That you know very well that you're given a number of people should be in a particular meeting, and then you chose a small place. Can we all get in there? And then the time, they were telling us that we should be in hurry, and then tomorrow they are starting printing. Then we said, how? We came here for a purpose. And then that purpose, that was the reason why we are here. And then down by heart, I never done right.
So what other issues do you have outside the place being choked, and also?
They should let us have all the material, the design. All the design, every candidate should be able to rectify whether this is my symbol, and all that things should be given to us before they start printing. For the party's members to verify, we should be able to identify that this is our symbol, this is our color, and then it should be plain so that the agent.
But you submitted your color, you submitted your symbol. Are they going to change that?
Yeah, we should know it. we should have it, that our candidate's name is spelled right, everything is on point before.
Yes. Well, so this he's representing the movement for change, and then other members are now coming out from the meeting that
absolutely
held earlier.
Armstrong, thank you so much for the reporting. Armstrong joined us from the Electoral Commission head office, where a training program for, agents of the parties has ended ahead of the printing exercise, which already some of them are raising questions about in the absence of a certified voter register. Remember, it's less than 60 days to the elections, and we are your election command center.
So live here on NewsCentral. Time now to talk football, because if there's ever an indication of a potential big game for the Black Stars, it could be today. The Black Stars have earned just 1 point from 2 AFCON qualifying matches and need 2 straight victories against Sudan to keep their qualification hopes alive. The first battle comes off in a few hours at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ghana last played a competitive home game there in 2021, defeating Sao Tome and Principe 3-1. Billy Shen from the 3 Sports team is on standby already at the stadium. Let's touch base with him right now, get a sense of what it's looking like right now. Bill, a lot of talk about the football pitch and all of that. Looks lush and green from behind you. Talk to us about how the atmosphere is building up towards that game later this afternoon.
So, for my arrival at the stadium, I saw a few fans at the security post trying to get into it. The streets have been busy. The traffic has been quite on and really tight. People are trying to, find ways to get to the Accra Sports Stadium for, the Black Stars game against Sudan. The first competitive match for the Black Stars in 2021. And of course, you mentioned earlier about the pitch, and that was work done in a space of a few weeks, to try and get the facility ready. And you can see behind me how the pitch looks like. It looks very green. And when I entered, I saw a few finishing touches that were being done as to, the people drawing the lines and then making sure the lines are colored and chalked well ahead of this game, against Sudan. And so the pitch is looking good, but the question will be as to whether it can withstand the pressure, because that is something that has been of a lot of concern to a lot of people, because at the Baba Sports Stadium before the game against Angola, the pitch was looking green and lush, as the NSA posted, on their social media handles. But when it got to the time of the game, you saw a lot of holes, and you saw that calamitous mistake from Women, and a lot of blame was placed on the pitch. And so there's a bit of skepticism, but in the last few days when I visited the training, the pitch looked good. When the players were trying to pass the ball, it was moving smoothly. But the real litmus test will be today on the pitch, starting from 4 p.m., where a lot of crunching tackles will be happening and all of that.
Let's talk chances of the team ahead of today. Must-win games. We've been to the stadium, seen the teams training. Mohamed Kudus is expected to captain the Black Stars. Is it all coming together and looking good that we can get one over Sudan today?
It's a bit of a double-edged sword. If you look at the record between Kwesi and Otuado, Kwesi took over Sudan in September 2023. It's managed 16 matches, 1-8. That's a 50% win rate. Quite good. For Otuado, the second coming at the Black Stars, it's managed for 6 matches, won just 2. That amount to 33% win rate. And also, he's considered in every single game he's managed since he returned. So no clean sheet so far. 10 goals conceded, 10 goals scored. It's not looking good, despite having some of the best defensive setups in Europe. Mohamed Salisu is there, Alexander Chitu is there, they have Jerome Opoku there. And so there's a lot of questions. And also concentration at the latter stages of the game. Of the last 16 goals conceded by the Black Stars in 2024, 8 of them have come after the 80th minute. And so there's a lot of questions as to the concentration. But, picking Kudus has brought a bit of, talks among fans. Some are divided. Some think some other experienced players should take over. But it's more of a statement from Otuado that, look, I'm looking at the young players, I'm building with youth, and Kudus is literally the best young player out there in his team. And so he's looking to give him that responsibility. And of course, looking at the record between Ghana and Sudan, about 14 matches played, Ghana have won 10 and lost just 3. And so it's looking quite good. The records is looking quite good for Ghana, and at home they've never lost to Ghana. So looking at that, you could possibly say that Ghana can lose. But again, it's against CRPI, is a man who knows Ghana so well. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's going to be quite difficult.
Right. Bill, thank you. Thank you for the updates. We'll be there a lot later to enjoy the game as well and get a sense of the atmosphere here. Bring your updates as well here on TV3 across our social media handles, 3 Sports GH on all our social media handles, and of course TV3 Ghana as well. It will take us on to our second break this afternoon. When we return, a bit more stories, and then we take the show home.
All be lie.
Thank you, boss. See you next week. Yo, where is my passport? Where is my passport? Yo, man, I want to Waba.
What is that?
And then it's special.
Give me my passport.
Relax.
Relax. You made me pay for express for 24 hours, and yet it's not in.
You told me last year telling me this of that. What's going on? Hello.
This man here has taken my money. That within 24 hours, he'll do my passport for me.
Oh, see, that's the same thing applies to me. He told me last night. He's telling me this week. Process. That's what they do. Yeah. Oh, madam. Please relax. I'll get for you in 24 hours.
Hey, Goroma. So you never change? Eh? You get passport for someone within 24 hours, Madam Obwa. See, the normal working hours is 9 to 5. Eh? Not 24 hours, yeah, I'm fat. You guys have made a very big mistake by trusting these people. Now, through digitalization, passport application has been made so easy. Now, you don't need to stress yourself and join any long queue for your passport. All you have to do is to log on to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and begin your application. By buying a passport application voucher online. Simple and easy. And very soon, all you need to get your passport will be your Ghana card. What is it true? Yeah, Obisa. It is possible.
Sure. Vote number 1 on the ballot.
He have not shown sign of settling down.
Oh, you don't mean it. The power to deliver disability.
I might have a solution.
You take this and spray it twice. Shake the gentleman. Place it on your lips and say the magic word.
Yes.
You, my darling, are unlucky in love.
Welcome to King David Business Center, where the heart of Tamale comes alive. Escape the ordinary, indulge in luxury at our guest house, where comfort meets convenience. Taste the flavors of Ghana and beyond at our exquisite restaurant, where every bite tells a story. King David Chaco Grilled Guinea Fowl with hot or mild pepper is the best delicacy. When the sun sets, the party begins. Dance the night away under the stars at our electrifying nightclub, or come and enjoy some live band music every weekend in our serene environment. We have perfect security system, both physical and electronics. King David Business Center, your ultimate destination for relaxation, entertainment, and unforgettable memories in Tamale, Ghana. Come join the fun.
Tamale, Kaula. My name is DJ Ashman, the power behind music. And this Friday and Saturday, Charlie, at the King David Lounge and Pub, the nightclub inside as well. We're chilling up to the break of dawn. Charlie, look good, look sexy. Come and let's chill up. It's free. My name is DJ Ashman alongside MC Viber, Charlie. Come make we chill up here. One.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
Auntie Essie. Now then I want to what time over me one money my busa.
Auntie Emma.
Pacho, me buy a school mukwan. A university. Na scan year 2005. And yet be a mania. To my even to my summit, the brown up paper kakra. No, the family. Oh, yes, men's Fantoman go to feed. It's what is a John Dramani Mahama. Any NDC for say, saying I may have done a gun for Twabamana. Waba. Aba University via Technical University, College of Education, Nursing Training, woman academic fees for first year. Hey, free. No. Yes. Adama Ujiti. And then I'm at the Auntie. Hey, share a BM was say, and can able siana, no obo woma, or motwa suku suono. Sano bonne bakwa, says it was so best home. Ediama oma, or motwa suono. And your Mr. John Mahama, ye shamin so mukran say, Yenyanuma. Omo di dem asabi sabi bread yasa omo ko school pon no wase wo mu nyina wo ba eye free ane sioma enka me ko nanka na ye 7 December nanka ya to aba na maye papa Mahama amana be ye president
hwe wasit na moto aba pa e de sakra ya papa beba wa brabo mu to aba mo John Mahama ni NDC.
The news never stops. If it's not breaking, developing, the news lends itself to significant analysis, broad context through explainers, and the features that give stories more life. That's what we offer on Weekend Central. News, features, analysis, the full package. Weekend Central, Saturdays and Sundays at 12 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Welcome back. Gridlock on the Accra-Kumasi Highway has persisted for over 8 hours, leaving drivers and passengers frustrated and stranded. The severe traffic jam has forced many passengers to abandon their vehicles and attempt to walk to their destinations. Let's get more on this. We're joined... Yvonne Nikwe has been speaking to local authorities who are working to clear the blockage, but the sheer volume of vehicles and the ongoing construction efforts are complicating the response.
So vehicles have been stuck at this particular spot beyond, behind me and in front of me from 2 a.m. I'm told by the drivers. They have to endure staying in here, hoping that the access is made possible from them where the road construction is taking place. Passengers, vehicles, everybody who is hoping to get to their destination from Accra, Suhum to Techiman and Kumasi are here in the deadlock. Frustrating for them. For TV3, Yvonne Nikwe, JJT.
Well, let's move away quickly. And fatalities on Ghana's roads keep increasing in defiance with intensified road safety campaigns. Over 200,000 lives have been lost within the first half, or 1,200 rather, I should say, first half of the year. Let's get a bit more from my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar, who's been following road safety authorities and the campaigns. Ibrahim, talk to us about what more is being done, particularly around the Sofoline area.
For now, they've begun with enforcement and also training of the drivers. Over the years, it's been education, but now they've realized that they need to train the drivers more on defensive driving so that this will even help in reducing road carnages on our roads. So that is the step they've taken just so we will bring all this down. But then some of the driver unions have also raised concern with regards to BVLA not implementing a section of the Ghana Road Safety Regulation, which they also say increase or even allow these road carnages to thrive, and they want, as a matter of urgency, BVLA to implement some of these road safety regulations. Abel Buama is the branch manager of GPRG at Sofola.
Ibrahim, we'll hear from him a lot later, but thank you as always for coming through with that report. That's my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar. He'll bring us to the end of this afternoon's edition of the Bulletin. And just on your screen is your chance to scan and be a part of the 3 News WhatsApp channel. That's where you find all things news related